live. So if you could see me, just in case you could see me, I'm talking now. What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Joannis or Joe Hatagwa. I'm a Sierra Leone American living in West Africa. And if you want to know what I'm doing in Sierra Leone, and if I feel like it's been a waste of time, then this is the video for you. All right. We're live on all platforms. My network has been pretty crazy, so forgive me if it goes in and out. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Network's been pretty bad today, so you guys are gonna have to bear with me. Let me know if you can hear me. I need to get a thumbs. My connection has been crazy. My connection's been really bad. Can you guys hear me? Let me know. Can you guys hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Let me know where you're watching from. Today we're going to talk about living in Sierra Leone. Has it been a waste of my time? What am I actually doing here? So I want to hear from you guys, where you guys are watching from, and if you can hear me. My connection has been really bad as of the last 1 hour. It was good all day. And then, of course, right before I go live, the connection cuts off. So let me know if you guys can hear me. Okay, so I got a yes from Marie, two by two. Zine NYC said you can hear me. What's up, Zainabu? We had a conversation earlier today. We got Tim Black is watching from Jonesboro, Georgia. And you said you can hear me. Cool. Thumbs up in the chat on TikTok. Thumbs up in the chat on Instagram. So I know you guys can hear me. I'm also realizing I can't find my watch, which is a whole separate conversation for another time. All right, Mr. London Boy for Life, of course, is here. You can hear me and you're watching from London. Cool. All right, so we got Vincenzo from New Orleans. We got Tebogo from South Africa. Nice. You got AZ from Colombia. Wow. All right. Marie, of course, is from New York. Iona from Nevada. Okay, Iona from Nevada. We got Nubian Locks 913 from Los Angeles. I like it. Nubian Locks. I like the name. I used to have locks. I just cut mine. I didn't just cut them. Cut them 6 years ago, 2017. We got X from India. Ty from Egypt. All right, we have a global representation today. I love it. Kamara Karzi from the UK. Okay, cool. We got pretty good representation from around the world. We've had people from all over the world join these lives, so I appreciate you guys all tuning in. Sally is from Alabama. What's up, Sally? Yeah. What else? What do we got from YouTube? So there's a few people joining on YouTube. I want to know where you guys are watching from. We got Tim Black from Georgia. We got Mr. London Boy for Life, obviously from London. TikTok too. You guys are on TikTok. You guys join, but never tell me where you guys are watching from. TikTok. Let me know where you're watching from. T Sly says it's T, not Ty. Okay, T Sly. All right, cool. Where are you watching from, T Sly? We got Putting Champion, of course, from Washington, D.C. A Jumpy is from New York. All right, cool. So we got, again, representation from all around the world. Uncle Tamba. Uncle Tamba, what's up? My Uncle Tamba is watching from Florida. Cool, cool. So we have quite a diverse group of people. T again, another person from Egypt. Another person from Egypt. Shout out to Egypt. Um, I got Lillian is from the UK. All right. All of you guys joining on TikTok. Where you guys calling? Where you guys watching from? I want to hear from you guys. Kwame, George, Janet, where you guys watching from? So we got a couple people from YouTube telling us where they're watching from. We got all over the world, actually. So a couple places in the States. Seen Egypt, so Argentina, a few other places. So we're going to get started here in just a second. Just give me a moment. Let's let some other people join before we get started. So for those of you who are new and are unfamiliar with who I am, especially those on TikTok, Instagram, and there are a lot of new people on YouTube too. So my name is Joannis. I also go by Joe Hotagwa. It's my last name. I am a Sierra Leonean American. I have been living in West Africa for almost 3 years now. As of December 26th, that will be my 3rd year living on the continent of Africa. Since May of this year, I've been living in Sierra Leone. And so, anytime I do any content where I am on camera, it's been expressing what it's been like moving to West Africa and interviewing other people who've made the move to West Africa, and also interviewing business owners, those who are, locally born and raised here and have businesses here. So I've spent, that's what I've been doing with these platforms. Anytime you see me on camera, right? I've also been sharing, especially on TikTok and on Instagram, things that are happening in the diaspora and things that are happening in Africa in terms of news stories to help people understand the different groupings, right? I mentioned this before. For those of you who do know me, you guys know I grew up in the United States, obviously culturally Black American, but my parents are West African, both Sierra Leonean. And so, the whole family is obviously Sierra Leonean. So hearing conversations with different folks about what Black Americans are like, and then hearing Black Americans have conversations about what they think Africans are like. I was always the person who kind of understood both sides, and I wanted to kind of bridge the gap between the two with this platform, right? So the platform is helping people from the diaspora learn more about what's happening on the continent of Africa, and people on the continent of Africa learn more about what's happening in the diaspora. The challenges that we have, the wins, news that's happening, so that we're all informed and we can have a collective movement to progress, regardless of where you are on the political spectrum. I think we all can agree that we want to do better as a whole, as a group, as a people, and so as a melanated people, as I like to say. So that's the goal of all the platforms, right? Is to try to make us all do that. Part of the reason for doing these lives is to engage with you all, have conversations with you all, and help you guys understand what it might be like for someone culturally American to move to West Africa, what that's like. And so today we're going to talk about what's it been like for me, right? What these 7 months have been like. Do I feel like I've been wasting my time? What am I doing here, right? And this is a question that we often ask ourselves when we're here, is what am I doing here? And so we're going to get into it in just a moment. Actually, let's just get into it now. I think we've hit critical mass, as they say. There's a few people that have joined across all the platforms. And so with all of you across all platforms, we're going to get started. So I'm going to start by sharing my screen. Now, if those of you who are watching on other platforms and you want to jump over to YouTube, feel free. I don't have the link in the description like I normally do because it's been one of those days right before the call for the internet hasn't been working. So if you want to join, you can, or you can watch from here. You can follow along. I'm going to be speaking through what the slides say, but if you want to watch the slides, you can hop over to YouTube, and on YouTube, just go to Authentic African, my page on YouTube, and just look for the most recent live. It should be what shows up right there if you go to my page on YouTube, Authentic African, which I'm sure you all know what that looks like because you're watching from one of the platforms where I am live. So with that, let us go ahead and share. So I'm going to ask for some class participation. I'm going to need to hear from you guys if you guys can see my screen. So real quick, Miss P is in the house. What's up, Miss P? Let's see. So let's go to the slides. No, not slides. I'm going to present my screen. You know, as long as I've been doing this, sometimes it can still be a little bit difficult to keep on track. And how, okay, cool. We are live. Let me know if you guys can see my screen. Hopefully you guys can see my screen. I'm gonna go back to the live to make sure my screen is showing up. Can you guys see my screen? Give me a thumbs up on YouTube if you guys can see my screen. Oh, okay, there we go. Michelle Joyner says, see it here from chilly Chicago. Man, I have only been to O'Hare Airport. I haven't actually been outside of the airport in Chicago. I've never actually been to Chicago. I know it's crazy. Never had a reason to be there. All right, so today, what am I doing in Sierra Leone wasting my time? And this is a conversation I've had with about 3 or 4 people today because they saw it on my WhatsApp status. And we had some spirited discussions about this topic today. So we're gonna keep that conversation going with this group, with all of you, because we have a lot to cover today. And I hope you guys are ready. So buckle up. All right, cool. So before we get into it, though, let's do a little bit about, you know, some housekeeping, right? So first things first, make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, turn on your post notifications. When you do post notifications, hit all so you're notified every time a new video comes out. What you guys are going to need to do is share this with as many people as you know who are coming to get their citizenship. Really important for them to hear. We're going to go through a lot today, and I want to make sure that you guys pass this on to all the relevant people. So at least 3 people you know, pass this on to them so that they can be abreast of what it's like to live in Sierra Leone. All right, cool. So before we get into it, let's talk a little bit about some of the things that I am doing here, not just in Sierra Leone, but period, like things that I've started while I was in Ghana, things that I can do no matter where I am. So it's not specific to Sierra Leone, but this is specific to what I can help you all with, right? Now that we have this platform and it's growing, you know, I want to make sure that I'm offering value beyond just videos, live, and just so I can help you relocate to Ghana or Sierra Leone. So obviously I lived in Ghana for 2 years. And while I was in Ghana for those 2 years, I learned a lot. So if you're visiting Ghana, I can help you find an tips. I already said that on the other side, but these are all things I can help you with if you're planning to visit Ghana. Same thing with moving to Ghana. I can help you with moving to Ghana. So if you have, you want to buy land, you need real estate agents, you want to start building, I can help with that through a partnership or through my own personal relationships. Business registration services. There are a lot of things you have to do to register your business in Ghana. And I have a whole list here of all the things that you would need to do. I have a partnership that can help you with that. And then Ghana residency services. So that's getting your Ghana card. That's mobile network registration. There's a residency permit, opening a bank account, driver's license, all of those things. All of those things I can help you with if you're planning to move to Ghana. Same thing. Visiting or moving to Sierra Leone, I can help with that as well. If you need any help with real estate. So if you're looking for anyone to help you, show you around to find any land, you want to buy land, you want to know what the process is like, trust me, I've been through it now 3 times personally as part of the process, and then, sorry, 2 times personally as part of the process, but then have seen and been looking at documentation for others as well. So I can definitely help you with that process. Also visiting Sierra Leone, right? Airport transfer, visa facilitation, vehicle rental, tours, hotel reservations, booking, the flight even, all of that I can help with through either myself or my partnerships. And then of course, moving to Sierra Leone, anything you might need, buying a vehicle, work permits, kind of stuff. I can help you with all of that. So if you need any help with that, let me know. How do you let me know? Here's how you book a consultation. So if you're watching on YouTube, in the description below, it will say relocating to Africa, I can help. Book a consultation with me. You can click that link there and book a consultation. If you're watching on TikTok or on Instagram, you can just click on the link in my bio, and in that link, it'll take you to the link tree. Scroll down to book private one-on-one 1-hour consulting session about Africa. Click on that. That will help you book a consultation with me. I also operate as an influencer. So these are some of the services I offer as an influencer. For those of you who are out there who have a brand and you want me to promote your brand, this is how I do it. I also do social media consulting. As you can see, I have over just around 230,000 followers across all platforms. And so that just is a testament to all of the money I've spent on courses and all the time I've spent learning from folks who've built large social media followings. I can also do the same. My Instagram page is the biggest, as many of you guys know who are joining from Instagram. I actually started that in February of 2021. So, next year, 2019. So next year we'll actually make 5 years, or 4 years, which is kind of crazy. But I spent that much time working on this way, 2019 to 2020, 2021, 2022. Sorry, next year we'll make 5 years. I don't do math in public, so it is what it is. Okay, so you guys got the idea, though. This is the following that I have. I built this because I've taken a ton of courses and I've learned a lot from others who have done it, so I can help you do the same. So if you want to spend some one-on-one coaching with me, again, on YouTube, it's going to be in the description. Need help growing your social media pages? Book a consultation with me. The link is there. And if you are on Instagram or TikTok, you can click on the link in the description. And again, scroll down to booking another session, separate session. There's 2 sessions. There's one for a consultation on Africa. There's one for consultation on social media. Brizzy TT says, keep doing what you're doing, bro. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Kika Moon Knight is here. She says, hey, what's up, Kika? And Alaji Bryant says, blessings, bro. What's up, Alaji? Let me see if there's any other comments on YouTube. Okay, so you guys said you could see me. You could see the screen. Cool. All right, let's keep this thing moving. Okay, so Instagram promotion. So any of you who have a brand, you can promote your brand on my platform. Again, I have over 175,000 followers on Instagram, which is kind of crazy to think. When I started the year, the first week of this year, we're 50,000 followers. So we've gone from 50,000 to 175,000 followers. And in that group are folks like Taraji P. Henson, which I always like to mention to folks because it doesn't matter how many people you have, it matters who you have following you, the influence of those who follow you. So you have the opportunity to be in front of an audience of someone like a Taraji P. Henson and many other blue check mark people who follow the page who didn't pay for the blue check mark, but who actually earned it through the platform. And so, she not only is a follower, but sometimes she engages with content as well. And so there's a potential for your brand to be in front of people like Taraji P. Henson and many others. So here's what some of the Instagram structure looks like. I removed the pricing because if you're watching this a year from now, the pricing that is today would not be the pricing that you see at that point in time. So I've moved the pricing here. If you want to find out more about how much it costs to post on Instagram, you can actually just shoot me an email at authenticafricanlife@gmail.com. It should be running across your screen right about now. So you see my email there. Just feel free to email me there, and we can go through what it is at this point in time when you're ready to start promoting on Instagram. Okay, now that that's out the way, and it looks like we've gotten more people joining, so this is good. We've got a good group of people across all platforms. So now that we have all of you here, let's talk about it. Am I wasting my time? What am I doing here in Sierra Leone? So again, guys, living on the continent of Africa, living anywhere, has its challenges and it has its benefits, right? I make no secret that I've had some challenges here. I've also expressed to you all, whenever you have challenges, there are solutions to those challenges, right? And opportunities, right? So I have also expressed to you what those opportunities and what some of those solutions are. So I'm not here to say how much I hate it and I wish I was gone or anything like that. It's really more to give you guys an idea of what has been going on since I've been here. So I moved here in April, and you guys might remember there was this whole thing about why I'm happy to leave Ghana and move to Sierra Leone, right? I did a couple lives about me being happy to leave Ghana. Then I did a live about why I was happy to be in Sierra Leone, because there's this whole concept of potentially being a big fish in a small pond, right? That was because my platform was growing, and there aren't as many people doing what it is that I do in Sierra Leone. There are many people in Ghana doing what I do in Ghana. That means like being an influencer. That means running a social media agency. There are just a lot more agencies to compete with in Ghana than there are in Sierra Leone. And then there are other businesses that I want to provide that there are also less competition in Sierra Leone to provide those services as well. And so, so there's a couple of things that we're going to talk about here today in terms of what I've actually been up to, because people have been asking me a lot, like, what are you doing? Like, what are you actually doing in Sierra Leone? And it just seems like I'm on the move a lot. I'm at meetings all the time. And let me kind of tell you what those have been about and where they bore fruit and where they haven't. So let's start with the nonprofit Launchpad Africa. So I've mentioned this on a live a few times, and I haven't really gone into detail what Launchpad Africa does and who we are. So I thought I would take some time to talk about it today, since I've mentioned it a few times and people are still a little bit unclear on what it is that we do. And now that we've gotten some traction and we've made some movement and done some things, I'd like to explain to you all what Launchpad Africa is all about. But before I do, let me just check to see if there are any more questions or comments. Jerry Campbell says he's checking in. Nice. What's up, Jerry? Okay, so let's get into it. So Launchpad Africa is a nonprofit organization that exists solely for the promotion of the African entrepreneur. As a business, Launchpad Africa will provide its participants with opportunities such as trainings, knowledge sharing, networking, mentorship, and resource allocation to help skyrocket the success of proven business ideas. So we began in 2020 during the height of the global sickness. The company was founded by 4 passionate African professionals who firmly believe in the transformative power of entrepreneurship as the cornerstone of a thriving economy. We are dedicated to unlocking new avenues for job creation, improving livelihoods, and fostering business growth, all of which will contribute to the development of African communities. So that's a lot, right? There's a lot there. But basically, we'll talk about what we do. But first, let me kind of talk about who we are. So 3 of us are Sierra Leoneans who grew up in the States, who all currently are in Sierra Leone at the moment. The 4th member, Isaac, is Ugandan, who has lived in Sierra Leone a total of, I think, 6 years, actually. Almost 7 years he lived in Sierra Leone. He's back in Uganda now, and he is operating our Uganda branch. And then Adra and Sylvia and myself are currently operating out of Sierra Leone. changes may be coming. But we are DC, Sierra Leone, and Uganda based. So we have operations in all three countries. And we'll talk a little bit about what that means in a moment. But you can see a little bit about what each of us have done and who we are. I mean, this is, we have a long bio for each of us, but it's very short here. Audra is very big on business development, media and marketing consulting. Obviously, I'm a digital marketing executive, have been working in advertising for a long time, almost 20 years. Sylvia is a nonprofit management executive, and Isaac is a finance executive. And we're the kind of founding board members of Launchpad Africa. So here are our services. So we have 4 key services that we provide to small businesses and small and medium-sized businesses here in Sierra Leone, and then, of course, expanding to other places, including Uganda and around the continent of Africa. So number 1, we have an accelerator, which basically 12-week financial management program. We have yet to launch this. We are doing some of the other things first, and we will circle back to this because we are now doing partnerships with other people who have these programs, and we're helping them facilitate some of the financial literacy, which is the second of our services. We are helping people learn more about management, income management, budgeting, marketing, debt elimination, and debt prevention. Our program introduces entrepreneurs to tools that will help them be able to track all of these things. We also do workshops and trainings. So we offer an array of bespoke training for organizations in the key areas of business planning, marketing, and financial management. As a member of our network, you'll be able to participate in free webinars and sometimes seminars as well. And then 4th is microlending. So Isaac has launched Cash Hunter, which is a partner of ours, and he actually has a 95% repayment rate for his micro-lending business. So for any of you guys who've ever been in a business where you've loaned money, any loan businesses, 95% repayment rate is just unheard of. And so he has a very special process that he uses to determine the ability to pay back those loans and the amount to give in those loans, because Isaac spends a significant amount of time working in finance across the continent of Africa and really knows how to help people understand how much they should be able to get for a loan, for a business loan or a personal loan, and to determine whether or not they can pay that loan back. And so these are the 4 key areas of what Launchpad Africa does. And I wanted to kind of share that with you guys. Now, really quickly, what I'd like to do is actually give you guys a quick peek of the website that we are launching for Launchpad Africa, because I'm so proud of it. I want to share it. So I am going to go ahead and present that screen. How do I change what screen I present? Let's see. I guess I have to stop screen sharing. And then I got to start it again. So we're going to head over to another tab where you'll be able to see the website. Now, this website is still under construction. We have a little bit more to go to complete the site. But so this is kind of, this is what you're going to be seeing here, which, okay, it's slow to load. What you're going to be seeing here is it's like 95% done. We're just going to stick with the number 95%. So it's about 95% done. There's supposed to be a rotating group of images here, but they just needed to be edited a bit so that you could see our logo at the top. And of course, my internet is moving very, very slowly. So some of the elements of the site are not showing up. But you guys have already seen who we are. Our mission and our vision is here. We have the accelerator, we have the financial literacy, we have the workshop trainings and webinars, we have micro-lending. We've been at events. We did a seminar for entrepreneurs ending the year strong and starting fresh. How do you prepare your business for the future and why? We talked about financial planning, identifying your shortcomings, human capital investment, strategizing, financial planning, strategic partnerships, employee headcount and leadership, all of the above. We also did a webinar, The Power of Digital Marketing. It's up on YouTube right now. It's on my YouTube channel. It's also on the Launchpad YouTube channel. We talked about the power of digital economy, and then we also had some panelists. We did a training, resource mobilization and capacity building for an organization called Lawyers. That is an acronym for lawyers. There's actually an acronym and I don't remember exactly what the acronym stands for. And then you have the co-founders. All of our information is here, and then you have our contact us form. So that's the website. It's going to be found at launchpadafrica.net. Right now, we just have a landing page. But eventually, we will have an updated website that will include all of those details you saw, but a much faster version of it, to make it easier to follow along what it is that we do. So that's Launchpad Africa. Any questions on that? That's one of the things I've been doing. That's part of what I've been up to since moving to Sierra Leone. Part of what I've been up to. You have Awele watching from the UK. What's up? Okay, any questions? Any questions on Launchpad Africa and what we do? Okay, cool. So without further ado, let's keep it moving. So that's part of what I've been up to, right? Actually finally getting, for all four of the founders, the co-founders of, Launchpad Africa to be in the country at the same time. We really only had like a 4-month overlap, all in the country at the same time, but we had never all been in the same country at the same time for longer than a couple of days since launching this. And so it was really, really important for us to all be here together. We learned a lot. We had our ups and downs with what we were planning to do with this, and we finally have really started to get some traction. And I'm looking forward to talking about some of the partnerships we're working on when they all come to fruition. But you guys stay tuned for that, because we'll have a separate live about that completely. Okay, so next. Authentic African Media Agency. So I started an advertising agency, a digital agency here in Sierra Leone, almost immediately upon moving to Sierra Leone, around April of this year. And it has been a struggle, to say the very least, to get clients. Now, the struggle hasn't been that there isn't a need for it. The struggle has been that there were people who are willing to pay for it or to move forward with payment to actually get started. And I've gone through many, many meetings. I had a conversation with someone earlier today. I had almost 70-something meetings this year with different people to talk through what it is that they're trying to do and to get things going. There's one particular bank, I won't call them out, but you know who you are. I've met with five times. Sometimes I have to just show up at their office, which, by the way, they're still not a client yet, even though they've said they want to be a client since June. Since June, we are in November. They said they want to be a client, send me an invoice, follow up with me, come meet with us. We're excited. Met the managing director, all of that. Still nothing. So as I mentioned to you all before, the sales cycles for different businesses can be much longer than what you might be used to, depending on where you are coming from in the world. And so you just need to ensure that you account for that as you're meeting with people and as you are building a business. So even though that has been a major challenge, we have, I'm happy to say, launched 3 clients last week, and another 2 clients are on the cusp of launching this week. So we're going to go through who they are. But first, before we do, let's talk a little bit about what the agency is, right? So I'm talking about this Authentic African Media Agency. What does it do? Who are we? What do we do? So it's a leading marketing communications agency. Capabilities range from business strategy, brand strategy, marketing strategy, advertising campaigns, website design, packaging, branded content. So whether you're developing positioning or messaging or a fully integrated marketing campaign, our process is rigorous, thorough, and highly developed. Strong brands create powerful emotional connections with their audience. If the opposite of love is indifference, it is critical that consumers are engaged. So we believe in creating persuasive, compelling, evocative brands that stake a claim, take a position, and have an opinion. I've worked on over 300 campaigns on 5 different continents across everything that I've done outside of Authentic African, and helping people reach their content, their target audiences around the world. And so that is what we are doing with this. So let's get into it. So the first of which that has launched, which I am excited about because as you guys, many of you know, I am a plant-based eater these days. I am what some people call vegan. And so Estu Delight is one of the clients that launched last week. We are in the early stages. We'll start doing some posting for them in just about 11 days. So countdown has begun to get started with them. So they're an agribusiness that deals in production, processing, and distribution of organic food and beverages. Their main products are organic honey, smoothies, and juices. And they are the first mobile juice bar in Sierra Leone. So if I'm not mistaken, they're on Lightfoot, Boston Street, right next to the UVA, generally throughout the week, Monday through Fridays. And then on the weekends, they move to Lonely Beach. So if you guys are looking for a fresh juice alternative to boxed juices, Estu Delight is a company that you would want to get juices from. I have drank their juices on a few occasions. At Madang 2 years ago was when I first became familiar with them. This stand that you actually see here was the stand at Madang, and that was actually where I bought my juice from them, if I'm not mistaken. And then also I went by their place on Lightfoot Boston Street or in town, and I had a juice last weekend or last week as well. So they have great juices. They do portable juices. They do all manners of different kinds of juices. So all their information is here. Their social media is here. Estu Delight on Instagram and Facebook. Their phone numbers are right there. If you're in the country, you want to buy some juice, there's your info. I'm going to do a whole live with them and get a chance to introduce them to this audience and talk to them a little bit about what they do. Haja is her name. She's the founder and CEO. We want to get her on and talk to her. And I want to do an interview with her as well. We want to ensure that those of you who are into juices, you have yourself some Estu Delight. Before I move on, let's see if there's any other questions, comments, thoughts. All right, cool. So that is Estu. Oh, and by the way, someone did. Tim Black says, hit that like button. Yes, hit that like button. Hit that thumbs up. Okay, 2. So that's Estu. Sorry, that's Estu. So Estu is one client that started, and we're well underway. We got a lot of work for them to do, and I'm excited to get their social media up and running. To grow their social media. It's already up and running, obviously. Okay, next is Ofino Naturals. It's an all-natural ingredient hair and body line that provides nourishment formulated to stimulate hair growth and maintain healthy, glowing skin. So here's some of the products that they have. They have lemongrass, aloe vera juice, lavender coconut, mango skin batter. I know I said butter on a couple of these, but it should say batter. Sorry. Mango skin, mango hair, avocado skin, or my avocado body, avocado hair. These are all products that they have. Really, really, really good products. They smell good. I got a lot of compliments on the oils, the hair oil that I actually put in my beard for some time, but I ran out, so I got to go back and get more. I really like the lemongrass because it has a dual purpose, right? Because as far as I understand, mosquitoes don't like lemongrass. So it smells good and it keeps the mosquitoes off. So I like the lemongrass hair and body butter. That's what I was using in my beard and on my arms and stuff to try to keep the mosquitoes away. So Ofino Naturals is a really dope brand. Joe Oyelowo is the CEO and founder, and she also has been running Afro-Americ, a school for folks that want to get into cosmetology. She's been running that school for 20-something years herself. The school's been in existence for over 30 years. And so she's been at the helm for quite some time. And so not only does she teach young people here some skills, she also has 2 salons where she does natural hair, and she uses a lot of the products that she actually produces for Ofino Naturals. So the businesses work together. But I'm specifically working on Ofino Naturals as a brand. As of this last week, they launched as a client as well. Next one I'm going to mention all got funding from a SLEDP through Innovation SL, which is really great to announce, because I think it's important to know that there are people who believed in them and their businesses enough to fund them through a grant. So they were all given a grant that they had applied for, and all 3 of them not only got the grant, but they are putting it to good use with someone like myself for marketing, right? All right, and next we got Green Compost. So the first 2 companies are direct-to-consumer products, right? One is a juice product for your inner health. The other one is a skin and hair care product for your outer health. Now, this is a composting company for farms. There gets to your plate. And not only did they get this SLEDP grant, but they've also gotten other investors as well, including United Nations Development Program, Land Accelerator Program, and the World Resources Institute have also invested. So Green Compost is an agriculture and development, Green Compost in Agriculture for Development is the name of the company. Offer well-packaged organic fertilizer to the wider public. They also provide biomass, briquettes, as fuel for cooking. Finally, they offer organic crops such as corn, maize, onions, garlic, that's a spelling error, my bad. Cabbage, pepper, cucumbers, garden eggs, etc. in the market. But most of what they do is they focus on farmers and offering services to farmers. They do work with end consumers, but they are in the Kenema region. So, it has to go from Kenema, and it's in that Kenema region. It doesn't always make its way to Freetown, but they're working on some supply chain things, as far as I understand, to get it out here. But these are also another interesting company. As you can see, all the companies are either natural, organic, and or farming and sustainable, right? You see a little bit of a theme here. These are the kinds of brands that are coming out of Sierra Leone, the ones that are really the ones that are going to take Sierra Leone to the next level, the ones that are going to be worth investing your time, investing your dollars as a consumer with as well. Because these are not only companies that are Sierra Leonean born and you want to say, yeah, I want to support Sierra Leonean businesses, but they're actually impacting people in a positive way. And so those are the kinds of brands I want to work with. When I decided to relaunch my social media agency, I did it knowing that I wanted most of my customers to be customers like this. I mean, sometimes we'll get a bank, sometimes we'll get a telecom company. Of course, you have to have those folks because banking is necessary in this part of the world, of course, and telecommunications is also important. But these are the ones that have the real impact day-to-day people's lives and improving them for the better in ways that are more about health, which I think is really, really important. So these are the 3 that launched all last week. Now, I mentioned there are 2 more that are launching, but the ink isn't dry yet on the contract. We've agreed in principle. We've agreed on price. The contract is in their hands, and we're just waiting on the signature. And then, of course, for that transfer to kick in and go through. Sorry, I'm sitting on a pillow right now. So we're going to make sure that happens. But when that does, we'll do a deeper dive into these companies. But I'll do a quick review of who they are. But before we do, let's see if there's any other questions, comments before we move on. Okay, cool. So there's a marketing company here that's worked with FBN, which is one of the banks here, and a brewery here, and many other brands here. They're working on a big, large-scale event that's happening in January, which is the next slide we'll be talking about. But I'll be managing their social media along with my team of social media managers. So I'll be running it for them, kind of helping them get this brand, this social brand, off the ground. They've been great with physical, and they just haven't been able to really tell that story online. So we want to make sure we help them do that. I don't want to jinx it, because have you guys noticed that this is the first live that I've gone live and it's been light the whole time? Crazy. Generally, by now, there's been at least one outage. But I have contingencies in place. Even if the lights go out, my internet still works, and my ring light actually plugs into my laptop. So if light goes out, I'll still have light from the ring light. And I tested it earlier, so we're all good. But anyway, this unnamed marketing company, yet to be named, will also be revealed, and then I will have the CEO of that company share their story with you when the time comes. But I'm really excited about working with this company. The CEO of this company also owns another well-known business here in Sierra Leone. And so I'm looking forward to working with her on that as well. And then lastly, there's an unnamed event in January 2024 where I and my team, our team of folks, is going to be project managing the event to ensure everyone knows their roles and responsibilities, as well as ensure that everything's being done on time. It's really going to be more of a project management thing, but I want to ensure that we are we're launching on time. Everything's done right. This is a big concert. Some folks that you guys might recognize, or you might at least recognize their music. I'm not going to call it out yet because the ink isn't dry yet. But when it's dry, we will talk about it. So for those of you who are going to be here in Sierra Leone early January, around January 3rd, you don't want to miss this event. I'm not supposed to be here. I'm technically supposed to be in Kenya at that point in time. However, the ticket hasn't been booked as of yet, so we're not 100% sure we're going to Kenya at this point in time. But I'm supposed to be in Kenya. But but anyway, even if I'm not in Kenya, I'll likely be in Ghana. So, but yeah, so I want to just make sure that you guys are all aware that this is what's been going on. But I've been here since April. I hit the ground running. I was planning meetings before I even landed in Sierra Leone. The middle of November, November 13th is when two of the three companies from last week actually signed the agreement. The fourth one just signed it today. Sorry, the third one signed it today, but they were in motion and we were moving. And then the other two that I just named, the unnamed event and the unnamed marketing company, is this week. Now, these conversations with the unnamed marketing event and the unnamed management marketing company, these conversations have been going on for about a little over a month, so not so bad. But the conversations with those three original companies have been going on since June. And the reason for that is because they didn't get the funding until way later than they initially anticipated. So that's not even their fault. It's the funding that was coming in that was going to allow them to be able to bring on my agency. So these are the things you need to think about. So, right, if you have a business here and you're launching a business, you got to know that it takes some time for things to get off the ground and get going. So luckily I wasn't, solely reliant. But, obviously at some point in time, there was an expectation that they would be starting, and it's not even until November, middle of November at that they're starting, even though conversations happened in June. Not to mention all the other meetings I had with folks that are really interested in moving forward, but have not actually moved forward. Because there's a difference between interest and commitment. There are a lot of people that are interested in something. Not everybody is committed to doing it, right? And so, my level of follow-up has to be on a whole nother level here. I hope to be able to announce as well, and working on some things with them. And I think you guys will find it very interesting if it comes to fruition. But I have a proposal due tomorrow for them. So wish me luck when I do the proposal and how they take it and if they decide to move forward. But that'll be another really, really good client to have. So I'm actually pitching some stuff to as well. Some folks that are in the solar space, some folks that are in telecom and banking. So I'm just continuously pitching, and we're gonna see where that leads. But yeah, this is it's all right. So this is the portion where I say you want to ask me any questions, ask me anything. Do you guys have any questions for me? Let me stop sharing my screen. Any questions for me? My connection I've been disconnected a few times on YouTube. So hopefully you guys have been able to capture most of what I've been saying. So apologies for any issues hearing what I've been saying. All right, cool. Mike Wilson says, "What country are you in right now?" I'm in Sierra Leone. I get it. Mike just joined, so no judgment. There was some other comments that I wanted to get to too. So sorry, on Instagram it's hard to get to these comments because I'm live on so many platforms. Alaji Brandt says, "Atlanta in the house. Very proud of your moves, bro. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'm working very hard to provide value Sierra Leone with this business. And there are many other businesses that I had talked about launching earlier this year. And that was another thing that I learned a lot about was how difficult it is to get all the ducks in a row when you're launching a business here. I launched a social media agency in the US. I launched it in New York, and then I did it doing business as in California. I also launched an e-commerce site in LA. And the day I launched my social media agency, I had a conversation with a couple of people, and within a week, I had a $2,000 a month client, just like that, right? Because I had already built the Instagram pages. I had many Instagram pages. This is pre-Authentic African. But I had a couple of Instagram pages that had like 10,000, 5,000, 6,000, Forever Green Media, Forever Green Supply. I had a Momentum Media Agency. I had all these pages. And 20,000 followers across all these different pages, right? So I could use those as case studies, walk into a business. This guy had a record label, and he was like, clearly, you know what you're doing, run my social media for some of my artists, and right off the rip, $2,000 per month. And that's just how it works a lot of times in the United States if you have proof of concept and you know how to pitch yourself. That is not how it works here. So again, within a month, I had a paid client, $2,000 a month. Paid client, $2,000 a month. Just to be very clear. Until I decided to fire that client because of the artist that they had, and it was a 14-year-old girl, and her music was way too adult for her age and all that stuff. I couldn't work with them anymore, so I fired her. But I will say that was not necessarily my expectation when I came here, but I did expect to be able to launch with some clients within 2 months, especially because I had verbal commits and like real engaging conversations with people about how they needed these services. So the fact that many of those who I talked to early on back in April did not follow through and I've been meeting with them. I showed up in offices. I have showed up in somebody's office 3 times to ensure that we actually move forward with these meetings. They've tried to lowball me with pricing. They've tried to change the terms of our conversation and the agreement and what we said that we were going to do verbally. There were just so many different things that I've had to now see. It is a completely different atmosphere. And I knew that already But like, the process of going through this, I have an apples to apples comparison between having a social media agency in the States back in 2017 around what was originally supposed to be cannabis related products and others, and then other social media agency here in Sierra Leone in 2023. And the challenge, and by the way, I'm not charging $2,000 a month to clients here in Sierra Leone. It's just, it's unattainable. It's not something I can do. So I've pretty dramatically reduced the pricing for what I'm offering here, which gives me very little margins and barely make any money off it, just to get these clients going. And they still are trying to haggle me on pricing, and that's the challenging part here. So, I just want to give that information to people so you guys understand that that's something that you can expect if, especially if you're launching a digital business, digital brand, helping people, specifically to Sierra Leone anyway. That's been my experience, and especially for someone who's still developing a network. I've obviously been coming back and forth here since 2017, but in terms of being here for a consistent stretch to really have a random meeting, you randomly run into someone here or there at this event, that had never really happened too often for me because I was only around for short stints. Even when I was living in Ghana, I would be here for like a little bit over a month and a half, maybe 2 months, in some instances. And I still wouldn't really necessarily meet all the people that I've been able to meet in this time frame since being here. The number of people I've been able to meet in the 6 months that I've been here, because I've been here 1 month, a little over a month away. I went to Tanzania and Ghana and Tanzania, and then back to Ghana again. So a little over a month I was away from Sierra Leone, but since April, I've been back in Sierra Leone full time. Oh, and by the way, I didn't mention this. Normally I shout out Pearl Hotel because I'm usually staying there. I'm actually in the guest house here in Freetown area. And so I'm here live from my own place. It's pretty crazy to think. This is the place that we've been working on for all this time. And we're finally here. We're finally live from within the guest house. So I'm excited to be live from in here, and I may go live from here every day now, as long as the internet connectivity is connected and working. Every Monday I may go live from here. Okay, so Pro Woman had a question. Pro Woman says pricing, adjustments for locals versus diasporans versus B2B. So how do you adjust for each client type? That's a great question. So if I'm dealing with a bit until the wheel of death stops circling. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I actually have them tell me their budget. I give them so first what I do is I sit down and I talk to them about what it is that they need, right? So, I need brand visibility across these 4 platforms. Okay, well, on these 4 platforms, you need to post this many times per day. That's going to cost this much. They might come back and say, well, I only have this much. They only had $150 a month to spend, right? And they're not even a client, but they only have $150 per month. Well, if you only have $150 per month, then that is 1 post per day on 1 platform, right? Because even in West Africa, some of the places outside of West Africa where I have staff, it costs more than that to be able to have that person posting on multiple platforms. So what I'm going to have to do for somebody who only is paying $150 a month is I'm going to have to give that work to someone who's already working with me on something, and then give them an additional payment to be able to get them. I can't get a whole new person for $150 a month. It just won't work, right? Because I have one person that, for instance, that charges $3 an hour, but it's a minimum of 20 hours a week, right? So if you do that math, $3 an hour, 20 hours a week, that's $60 a week. And that 1660 is 120, 120, 120 is 240. That's $240 a month. So I can hire that person to do posting on, for $150, right? I'm losing almost $100 on that particular client, right? So I had to get creative with how I work with different clients here locally and what I can give in terms of workload to one of my existing contractors or employees that I have working for me, and then working with that individual. So I don't do different pricing for different people. The pricing is about the same for now because I'm relaunching this business. But in general, yeah, I would like to charge a lot more. Like in the States, I would like to charge, my IG just cut off. So I need to get back on IG. You guys are gonna have to give me a second to let Instagram load back up. But yeah, so I hope that answers your question, Pro Woman. I don't have a variance in pricing at the moment. Really, what I do is I do it based on their needs. Lots of good questions. So Patrick Real Estate says, are you going to be in Ghana in late December, early January? Yes, to both. I will be in Ghana in both late December and in early January. As of right now, that is the plan. So I will keep you guys posted on the dates. But yes, that is the plan. Sorry, I'm just trying to just get this live back up and going from Instagram. I can make other edits later. Yeah, I can make other edits later. Let's just get going. I'll add. I want to make sure this is live. So we're back live on Instagram. It looks like it anyway. I'm spinning wheel of death over there. So I don't know if those people are watching Instagram live right now, or if you're watching the replay, what you're seeing. It's spinning wheel of death for me. So we'll just assume that you guys can hear me, and if you can, this is going to be part 2. What am I doing in Sierra Leone? So those of you who are watching, thanks for watching. We're doing a part 2 to what am I doing in Sierra Leone? Am I wasting my time? For those of you, everybody else who's been watching, you guys have been watching the whole time. So to answer your question, Patrick, I am going to be in Ghana in late December and in early January. Awele O says, when it comes to business, they're serious only when they pay you. Anything else is lip service, 100%. Yes, anything else is just lip service. And people like to give you lots of lip service. I don't know how that sounds. Anyway, Awele says, congratulations on being live from your own place. Thank you. It's exciting. Although, as I'm looking at this window in the back, I don't know if it's the camera on the laptop or if the window is actually crooked. Is it crooked to you guys? Does the window seem like on a slant this way? Sorry. I don't know. I'm seeing. And then also for you guys watching on Instagram, is it slanted? I don't know. Let me know. Patrick Real Estate says, do you have a one-sheet media kit? I do. Unfortunately, my media kit / one-sheet, well, it depends on what you're talking about. If you're talking about for my social media agency, I am redoing it as we speak because it was on my previous laptop that crashed. So I'm actually in the process of redoing it right now. If talking about a media kit or one sheet about me as an influencer, I do have that as well. So let me know. So email me, Patrick, if I send you that media kit, and I'll definitely send it to you. Eventually, it'll be on my website. We just aren't there yet. right, we're a little over an hour in. Any other questions, comments, thoughts from anybody on IG? St. Boogie says, peace from Chicago. Okay, here we go. Pro Woman says, capacity. Do you have it to operate Authentic African platform and agency? I'm confused about the platform for artisans, products, and if it fits with the agency. So that's a great question. So the Authentic African e-commerce store, as of right now, all the things that we talked about previously, with the third parties selling their products on the site, has been put on hold because of issues that I can't even get into right now with the platforms and everything there. So the e-commerce store is up. You can't actually purchase anything from it right now. If you do want to buy something, you can. I'm bringing on my social media manager, who's AKA my e-commerce manager. I'm bringing her back. I actually hadn't been working with her over a little over a year, but she's coming back on board. And so she can help handle any orders that come in. That is long story there, Pro Women, and I'll save that for another day. Maybe we'll do a whole live on that one. The agency is something that I can control, right? Even though I can't control what clients pay me, I can control my effort, turning that into actual revenue, right? Effort I put into it, certain things just it can't move without other elements. And without getting too deep into that there are challenges there. So I decided, let me just push forward with the social media agency, because that's something I can do now and I can bring on clients now. And so, but the Authentic African Media Group is a company that has a number of different elements to it, many of which I'm trying to automate so that I'm not hands in all the different areas. So the social media agency is one of them. Operating as an influencer is another one, right? So that all kind of ties in together, because you can, on my platform, you can have me go somewhere and film something and edit it and put it out. And then I can also run your social media for you. I can also consult with you and help you with social media, right? So the consulting is also under the Authentic African Media Group. So you have the influencer, the agency, the consulting, all under the umbrella. You also have the e-commerce store, which is coming probably in early 2024, where we're really going to relaunch that and we're going to get that back up and running the way it needs to. Because as of right now, we are operating on like 10% capacity on the e-commerce store. So we're going to get that back up and running. There are also affiliate programs that I'm a part of and referral programs that I'll be also mentioning. There are also going to be travel guides and all kinds of other things. Merchandise. We got merch that's going to be coming. We got land purchases and ownership and all that kind of stuff. So there's a lot of things coming under the Authentic African Media Group. In terms of bandwidth, I don't have a ton of bandwidth. So in many cases, I'll have partners helping me launch those areas and those different businesses. And they all operate independently. So I have a social media agency / someone who runs my e-commerce. She will manage all of that. What's in stock, customer service, etc. I have social media managers managing the accounts, including the Authentic African Media account, Authentic African Instagram and TikTok account. That is run by a social media manager. The agency clients that I have, they'll be run by social media managers. The land, I'm in talks with someone to kind of help me manage that. So there are all different folks helping with each of these businesses to ensure that they launch and they operate at full capacity. So I hope that answers your question, Pro Woman. Let me know if it does. Can I just call you Amin? I don't want to mess up your first name. How do you cope with the power outages during your work in Sierra Leone? It seems to be a struggle these days. That's a great question. So how do I cope with the power outages? So generally, I work from places that don't have that have backup power supply. So sometimes I'll work out of Pearl Hotel. Sometimes I'll work out of Radisson Blue. There are other places that I'm looking at that I'll be working out of. So sometimes I just work from other places. But today, for instance, I work from home all day. And we had okay, as you can see, I had plenty of sunlight. So even though I work from home today, this window here, there was plenty of light coming in. So I had plenty of light here. So even though light was out in the house, I had light coming in from outside operate and work. And because I'm not using fiber solely, and I'm going to get fiber installed, I'm using a MiFi AfterCell at the moment. AfterCell is not paying me; they should be though. This is the MiFi I'm using. This allows me to stay connected. So even if there's no power connection, right? It operates with a battery, right? So this is meant for you to travel with it. That's why it's called the MiFi. So I utilize this often, and so that keeps me online. So that's how I've been able to work from home. Good question. All right. Any other questions before we go? Excuse me. I'm going to hide. Looks like we have some folks fading out. So no other questions, comments, concerns, thoughts? I can't believe we've actually had power this whole time. That's shocking to me. It really is shocking. How was the mic today? Was it good? Is this actually even a better sound if I move the mic closer to me? But let me know. I'm testing out a new mic. And you guys have got to see this setup now. I got a tripod over here. I got the ring light back here. I got a mic here. But let me know, how's the sound been? Give me a thumbs up if the sound has been better than normal. Yeah, give me a thumbs up if the sound's been better than normal. And if it's been the same as usual, I guess you can just put the same in the chat. That's for you on YouTube, guys. For you guys on YouTube, let me know. Those of you guys are watching on Instagram and TikTok, the mic has no bearing on the sound that you guys can hear because I'm plugged into the computer, not either of those two phone devices. Which, by the way, hopefully one day I can get everything streaming through one device so I don't have to have 3 different devices connected to the internet, slowing down my internet connection. But I want to make sure I capture people on every platform, right? So that is why we are live across all. Tiggy says, the mic works well. Good. I'm glad to hear it. Cool. I'll put the mic back down. That was not meant to happen. Okay, cool. Any other questions before we go? Sorry, I gotta do a little stretching of my legs. Been working out a little bit, doing some running and some calisthenics, I think you call it. So my legs are a little sore. I haven't been working out as much as I had been previously. So I'm back in the game, guys. Back in the game. My back is sore. My abs are sore. My chest is sore. My arms are sore. My legs are sore. But that means that I'm doing the right thing. So that's good. And I've been eating a lot of protein, peanuts, peanut butter, to try to add some protein, to get more weight back up, because I've lost a significant amount of weight going vegan. But, you still want to make sure you maintain your mass. So I need to get more protein. And so I've been eating a lot of lentils recently, peanut butter, peanuts, to try to get as much protein as I possibly can. All right, cool. So we're off on a tangent here. It looks like people are done asking questions. So again, I want to thank you guys all for watching. Hopefully you found it interesting. Patrick, make sure you email me. Email me and I'll send you the one sheet and the media kit if you want to talk. I guess you're obviously a real estate person. So if you want to talk about some real estate. I have some ideas for real estate. Actually, I took a course called Billie Jean's Genius course. I also took Ty Lopez's course. I spent, between the two of them, I think I spent like $4,000 on social media agencies and how to build a brand on social media. So both of which talked a lot about real estate, and more in particular, Billie Jean did. And so I have lots of ideas for how you can run campaigns on social media for a real estate company, and how you can also build your social media platform for real estate. So if you want to talk, more than happy to help you. Pro Woman says, so some people started jumping off, but there are more questions coming. Pro Woman says, will you do ad work for the girls' restaurant in Ghana? So for Freetown Chop House. I talked to them about it, but they run their own social media. I think they're fine with their own social media right now. There may be a chance for us to work on that later, but they're running their own. And they're doing a pretty good job, to be honest. I don't think they really need me at the moment. But yeah. Tiggy says, I'll be in touch with you in the near future for a consultation. Great. Since you're watching on YouTube, the link for the consultation is in the description below. So feel free to hit that up. And I'm hearing that, okay, so Welle says mic is fine. I'm just wondering if it's better than when I don't use a mic, because there's no point in plugging it in and taking up some battery life if it isn't. Shout out to the inexpensiveness of this mic, though. It was like less than $30 from Amazon. Excuse me. All right, cool. It looks like all the questions have been answered. So with that, I want to thank you guys all for watching. Oh, here we go. Amin says, the sound is crystal clear to me, and in my opinion, it has become better. Good. So that's good to hear. So I guess the mic is worth using. It sounds like it's been useful and helpful sound-wise. So I'll probably use this for different things, live calls, and I need to use it. There are a number of different things I need to use this mic for. I'm getting used to talking on mics now too. If you guys haven't seen those episodes of the Ghana Gamble that I did with the two ladies that were referenced earlier, you guys can check that out on their all platforms, the Ghana Gamble. Whew, got spicy. We talked about a lot of stuff that I don't talk about on this platform, but we talked about it there. So if you guys are interested, go check it out. All right, guys. So with that, thanks for watching. I will see you. Oh, is there anything else? Okay. Tamba said, learned a lot. Thank you. Thank you, Uncle Tamba. This is my uncle, Uncle Tamba, which I appreciate. Thank you, Uncle Tamba. It's been very helpful for me in my time in Sierra Leone, for sure. I'm glad you learned a lot. I'm glad it was effective and helpful for those of you who watched. So thanks for watching, guys. I will see you all in the next video. Make sure you share this, like, comment, subscribe, do all of the above. Let's make sure we get this content out to other people who need it. And with that, guys, thanks for watching. See you all on the next video.